This conference will now be
7:06.
recorded.
All right, 7:06, we are calling our committee meeting to order. It's May 28th. We're going to start with our flag salute and motion silence again.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mary, can you please have the center state roll call?
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting has been given by filing written notice with Township governing body and Township clerk, mailing written notice to the Township's official newspapers and the Township website, posting written notice on the official bulletin board in the Chesterfield Township Municipal Building, and providing notice to all who have requested same. Ms. Batra.
Here.
Ms. Codestale.
Here.
Mr. Lika.
Here.
Mr. Panfili.
Here.
And Mayor Hughes.
Any agenda matters requiring the people?
I have none.
All right, hearing none. Can I get a motion and a second approval of the minutes from May 14th?
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Moving into public comment, part one. You have 3 minutes to speak. Please start with your name and address. Yes. Can I get a motion?
Oops, sorry.
to open public comment?
What did I do?
All in favor?
Aye.
Floor is open. Seeing none in here, is there anybody online who wishes to speak?
Nope.
Seeing none, can I get a motion and a second to close public
So
comment?
moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, we have no ordinances for public hearing. Moving into ordinance for introduction. Ordinance 2026-12, an ordinance amending chapter 66 of the Code of the Township of Chesterfield to temporarily extend hours of sale and service of alcoholic beverages during the FIFA World Cup 2026 tournament. So a couple weeks ago, Governor Sherrill signed in a bar a proclamation allowing towns to temporarily extend their hours of sale to help support small business as the World Cup comes to New Jersey. Assemblywoman Katz actually gave me a call last week, said that she had spoken to the Chesterfield Inn in our town and that there was interest in taking advantage of what Governor Sherrill is allowing. So Dominic was able to put this ordinance together. It will extend their hours only by an hour. So currently it is 2 a.m. that they must no longer operate. This will move it to 3 a.m. I spoke with the chief proactively just to see if he had any big concerns.
What I read said 4.
Right.
I initially wrote it as,
Oh, okay.
it's, okay.
I changed it to 3, yes.
Okay.
Okay, because I had somebody called me and forgot that, because they said that I guess even anywhere, that the games wouldn't start past 9 o'clock, so allow plenty of time.
Yeah, so as per the business owner who requested it, he preferred 3 o'clock. I have no issue with that. I spoke to the chief proactively. He's on board. His department will be made aware. The World Cup is June 11th through the 20th. So I would like to ask the committee to hold a special meeting on June 8th if there's availability so that we can approve this ordinance and adopt it on June 8th, allowing time for the business to get everything in order that they need to in order to be able to operate under it starting June 11th. Our next meeting would normally be June 11th, so this would be a special meeting on the 8th, if there's availability to do
I
so.
could do it, but I would have to be at 6, because I have something.
I'd rather
And anytime
move the
we can do
meeting
it
to the 8th,
earlier,
right?
there's ability
I,
to do so.
as I told you, I will be out of state.
Yeah.
If quorum's needed, I'll call in. It won't even be virtual. It'll be called.
Is that, we have enough time to announce that, right?
Oh, yeah.
That gives us, so it's 7 calendar days. We were gonna move it to the Thursday before, but there's not enough time to do that. That's why we're looking at the 8th.
Are we, just for clarification, are we moving the 11th meeting to the 8th?
Which we also can do if there is an appetite to have this meeting on the 8th, then we don't need to have the meeting on the 11th.
I have something at 7 o'clock, I mean, I can come at 6 just to do this, but I can't. I'm around.
Okay, so if there's anything critically important, we can have it on that same agenda. Otherwise, I think that we would cancel the meeting on the 11th and have any other business at the end of it.
Okay, since we have 2 meetings, I can, no problem to push something back if we need to.
Is the committee on board with that?
Yes.
So we're going to move that meeting to June 8th.
But only put anything that's absolutely critical and time sensitive on the agenda, so it'll be a short meeting, and we will have it at 6
o'clock.
instead of 7.
Okay,
So the public hearing for this ordinance will be June 8th at.
but we need to
6 o'clock.
introduce it first.
We still have to
Yeah,
introduce
but I'm just-
Jump in the gun.
All right, can I get a motion and a
6
second to
o'clock.
introduce the ordinance? Better approve that.
Second, thank you.
Can we do roll call? please?
Sure, Ms. Botcher,
Yes.
Ms. Godestale, Mr. Leka,
Yes.
Mr. Panfili,
Yes.
Mayor Hughes.
Yes. All right. Thank you, everybody, for your flexibility. I'm happy that we're able to support our businesses in this way. Moving on to resolutions. Resolution 2026-0509, requesting approval of items of revenue and appropriation under NJSA 48:4-87 for NJDOT municipal aid grant. Hotback Road Phase 2 in the amount of $252,823 in the 2026 municipal budget. Just as an FYI, Phase 1 of this is going to be starting on June 22nd after school begins. Joe may go into more detail when he gets to his engineer report. Phase 2 is down the road, but this is the technical resolution that we need to do to get the dollars into the budget. Any questions?
Did I
or
mess
comments?
something up? Yeah, I don't know what the heck I did here.
I have none. I'm sorry, let's go.
Are you following or are you having the same problem I am? I have a different, oh, never mind. Don't mind me.
Yeah,
We're
no.
good?
Yep, you're good. Yeah, I'm a little crazy.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolution 2026-05-10, requesting approval of items of revenue and appropriation under NJSA 48:4-87 for bulletproof vest partnership in the amount of $1,626.08 in the 2026 municipal budget. Every year, the police department gets these grant dollars for the bulletproof vest partnership. Chief, is there anything you want to add?
No, thank you.
Okay, any questions or comments from the committee? Can I get a motion in a
So
second?
moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 2026-05-11, requesting approval of items of revenue and appropriation under NJSA 48:4-87 for Clean Communities Grant in the amount of $20,248.33 in the 2026 municipal budget. Can I get a motion in a second?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 2026-05-12, resolution authorizing award of contract for Fenton Lane Walking Path Extension Project. We received 6 bids. This is the lowest responsible bid pursuant to the local public contracts law. It was submitted by Richard T. Barrett. This is to complete the Fenton Lane Walking Path, which is something that we've done in a couple different stages to be able to cover it almost fully by grant dollars. And then it is for 2 full, complete new pickleball courts. Joe, anything you want to add?
Nope.
All right.
No.
Yeah,
Can I ask you a question on this?
of course.
I thought we had.
We don't need to. There were funds available in one of the pickleball. We only needed like about
You knew I was
10,000.
gonna ask, okay,
Yeah.
so we don't have to reappropriate.
No, and when, I think in the resolution, I think we have spelled out where the funds are coming from.
I just want to make sure we have.
Any other questions or comments from the committee? Can I get a motion in a second?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 2026-05-13, resolution authorizing refund of tax overpayment for 93 Bordentown Chesterfield Road, known as Block 206, Lot 20, due to veteran exemption. Can I get a motion in a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolution 2026-05-14, authorizing person-to-person and place-to-place transfer of honorary retail consumption liquor license number 0307-33-002-009 from 19 Fold Limited Liability Company to Gervasio's Italian Family Restaurant LLC. Can I get a motion in a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 2026-05-15, resolution authorizing refund of tax overpayment for 25 Saddle Way known as Block 202.104 Lot 3. Can I get a motion in a second?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 2026-05-16, resolution authorizing refund of tax overpayment for 14 Iron Bridge Road known as Block 301 Lot 35.02. Can I get a motion in a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moving on to the bill list. I just had a quick question for Joe with the money that we are paying Paving Plus LLC for the Marjoram Road improvements. I just want to ensure that we will still have no issues getting everything done that we need to get done.
No, we don't have any issues. That's the first payment. They have a second payment that's pending. I'm waiting for them to sign it before it gets submitted. Then we'll still have one final payment. That'll be for the retainage, which is 2% of the entire contract. And the fuel and asphalt price adjustment item that's required by the state. But there is just one bunch of stuff we're making, figure out today, doing a lot of the cleanup work, but we just have to come to it here.
Thank you. Any other questions on the bill list?
I had none.
No. Can I get a motion in a second?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, moving into reports and discussion. Joe, you are up first.
Okay, we covered most of my report already. Marshall Road, like I said, there's one punch list item remaining, that we did take care of. Hogback Road Phase 2, that will go to DOT shortly for approval bid. Reconstruction later this summer. Item 5 in my report is the 2027 grant application. We discussed it last meeting when I said that it was announced on July 1st. We had discussed with Troy and come with your recommendations, so that's what's on my report. I also attached the road condition map that Troy and I keep, to the back of my report, that shows the roads that are in red basically are the ones in poor shape. We only do poor, fair, and good, but the road that we landed on was Georgetown Road, starting at the southern end of the township, and then work our way north. It looks like we probably have to do 2 phases, just because the grant awards are typically around 250,000. That gets you about half a mile. And it looks like what we've identified as a mile, just north of Lake Pine. So we would apply for the entire thing, probably somewhere around $500,000 request. More than likely, we'll get an award of 250,000 or so in that range.
So Georgetown was worse than Ellisville?
Yeah, in that section.
I mean, this is an important discussion and decision for the committee to make. I mean, we all know that our roads are aging, that there's a lot of them that are in poor shape. So, Joe, I appreciate you and Troy working together to provide the recommendations. But I do want to make sure that we have all of our input onto what we decide to apply for, because it is so important.
Yeah, Ellisville was second on the list, that section of Ellisville.
I would just say maybe we should also look at, and I'm not making any recommendations here, how much money we have in that headline settlement. Road, but I think maybe, because I just worry, I know, pretty soon coming up, we're gonna start to have a lot of, roads in the village that are gonna be, those roads are like 20 years old. That we need to keep on top of all of this and make, I think, an overall decision about how we're gonna handle some of this stuff, and I think that's a good discussion, but I think we should have it, because before we start to get residents coming here and saying, I live on Reckless-town or whatever, some of the earliest roads, and complaining that they're failing it now.
I don't see any with 1 foot miles in them.
I'm not saying they should go above these, but I'm just saying that I don't want to be dealing with that, and, I don't think this body wants to be dealing with that in a few years and have, guess what? I think we should get ahead of it now.
Great, we do need to have a plan.
Troy and I did also discuss, I'll just add, towards the end of summer, when they saw as far as maintenance around town, to redo this map and reevaluate the roads, including the village. The village has been included in our rankings.
I think that's a great idea.
So for purposes of this grant application that's due July 1st, is the committee comfortable with doing Georgetown, Chesterfield Road in likely 2 phases? Do we want to take some time to drive the road and think about it? What's everybody's?
If you didn't answer tonight, I haven't been on either road recently, so I couldn't.
Joe, when do you need an answer by to be able to get the grant application in?
Grant application is due July 1st. We need to have a resolution adopted in June for supporting the application for the grant.
Okay.
I've been on both, and they're both really bad, and I don't,
They're all
I'm in a position to make that decision not being made. So I'm pretty comfortable going with whatever public works and Joe recommends.
I wanted to,
I'm so comfortable moving ahead with it.
They're both really bad shape.
Your liaison to public works, what's your opinion?
My opinion is they're both bad, so it doesn't matter. Flip a
Yeah.
coin.
That's what I think too. I'm having driven them both recently.
Okay,
So-
so I mean,
and
I'm
I think-
comfortable then with going forward with Georgetown, Chesterfield.
I do believe Ellisdale was paid before or the last.
I will say this, I think Georgetown gets more traffic.
That's true.
I think it's a heavier used road.
That's for sure.
Oh,
And there would be no
oh,
widening there. I mean, I can't imagine it would stay as is.
545 is county.
That's what I thought. So it's
Georgetown.
Chesterfield.
Chesterfield.
Okay. Never mind. I strike that.
But I still think a lot of people use that to get us into the high school. More
Yeah.
than people using Ellisville.
Ellisdale Road has a lot of heavy trucks going anymore. Going to the M&M farm. There's a lot of tractor trailers and stuff that go down that road. So
What's your final answer, either one?
either one, I mean.
All right, so I think it sounds, Joe, like we're comfortable moving forward with Georgetown Chesterfield, if you can prepare that resolution.
We got that on the 8th too.
We can do that on the 8th, yeah. Thank you.
Joe, where's phase 1 and phase 2 Stockholm Hall?
Across the halfway.
Hybrid,
Yeah, hybrid.
and then from
And then
hybrids to,
Highbridge to Groveville?
Yes. That's it.
What does Groveville look like from that corner down to the stream? Has anybody looked at that?
didn't notice it being bad, I drove the other
Going
day.
north to the stream?
Yes, going to Crosshook Street.
Um,
I haven't been down there in a while, Simon.
Is that road on both sides ours, even? for the
That's our road,
Next to the old Richmond property?
yeah.
what's that distance you think?
I go through it.
Not much, right?
I'm gonna say it's a half a mile,
At least,
quarter of a mile, half a mile, somewhere in there.
at least, you know,
Yeah.
1,500 feet. Right up to the Crosswick Street Bridge in Groveville.
Yeah, that's where it stops.
So on Grove.
What's that?
Over that on Groveville?
Yes,
On Grove.
Stream? I got you, okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of where, I'm at.
If you go, no, if you go to Hallback and make a right on the Groveville,
Yeah, I got you.
that's us.
I got you. What I would suggest, I'm gonna take a look at it. If it doesn't look like it's a big distance,
It might not be, how many feet?
I think we can add it at a minimum of mill and pave as an alternate bid and just see what the price is coming at.
If we can, speak through.
The pricing, we might be able to do part of that as part of the grant, and maybe kind of similar to the walking path. If it just costs a small portion, and we can pay for some of that grant.
Done.
I
Yeah.
think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, we'll put it as an alternate bid, that's phase 2.
Joe, did you have anything else on your report?
No, I just have a note on the maintenance contract, and the maintenance bonds for the parking lot and walking path at Family, they expire on June 23rd. So I will discuss it with the contractor now, this project's award, and get from him an extension of that maintenance bond to make sure he does those repairs when he does the construction of the walking path.
Okay, and
This
he's
is more than
going to
likely
make
to
all of those repairs?
Sorry,
He's going to make all those repairs that that conversation been had?
that has not been had, but I told him that there was concern, and it would make a maintenance bond punch list, I should say.
Does he have to agree to that, or can we?
Well, because his construction for the next phase isn't going to start probably until after June 23rd. The maintenance bond, we don't release that, it just expires.
Mhm.
So he has to more or less either extend the maintenance bond or agree that as part of his bond for the walking path, he'll make the repairs to the.
I
Do you
thought,
think that's what's gonna happen, that he'll do that?
Yeah, so the construction only one time.
Well-
When he's out here with his equipment, is when he'll take care of all the repairs.
Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, if you put the bonding company on notice, it doesn't sunset at the 12 months. It only sunsets if they're not noticed of a deficiency. I have some towns that just sunset it and don't call me, but I have other towns that wait till the 364th day of the second year and let me know that there was a maintenance bond issue. And
Just so that they get the extension.
Yep.
So if we
Well,
say
formally
that,
notify
will we
him.
get an extension?
Well, generally, I would suggest Joe or someone notify, we have a copy of the maintenance bond on record. Someone should contact the bonding company as well as the contractor to know that this cannot expire, there's outstanding work.
So we can keep it.
Well, as long as it's notified within the 24-month period.
Which I'm notifying, I can notify
Yep.
him, right, and I attempt to call him after the next project was awarded, just so he's comfortable in knowing that he's gonna be back to this
Yep.
site regardless.
I don't expect that company to be a cheap person.
And,
No, not if there's still more work for it.
That's the latest update I have.
Thank you, Jen.
Thanks, Joe. All right, moving into reports of administration. I'm up first. Our Cone with a Cop event was a couple weeks ago. It was wonderful, Chief. Thank you to you and your department. Thank you to all the committee members that showed up. Thank you to all the residents that showed up. We had a really good turnout. And I thought it was a wonderful community event. So just huge thanks to everybody. I had on my list Marjoram Road. I know Joe mentioned it. I just want to add, I went out with Joe and his project manager, Jim. We did the walkthrough. We put together a punch list of items of things that still needed to be taken care of. It seems like most of them have been taken care of to this point. I know there's not many folks online, but just if anybody is listening or can share the message, if there's any other outstanding issues, if you're a resident of Marjoram, please get them over to us sooner rather than later so that we can have them taken care of. Have one other issue that I wanted to bring up, and it was actually for the committee members who are in a community group. They may have seen an article about it earlier. It's something that we've been thinking about and talking about, and I had asked Dominic to look into it a couple months ago. I've spoken to a couple committee members about it, but it has to do with data centers and potentially doing a proactive ban on them in Chesterfield. I mean, they're in the news a lot right now. They have a huge impact on the townships. There's so much unknown about them that I would be comfortable at this point doing an ordinance, doing a proactive ban to make sure that Chesterfield is not vulnerable, to make sure that developers aren't looking at us to really protect our land and our residents. But wanted to throw that out to the committee, see what thoughts are, and if it's something that we'd like to move forward at the next meeting. I would like to.
I would agree with you. I have a son who's an electrical engineer who has been involved in designing and building. And first of all, the water requirements, I think, are out of what we would ever want to deal with given our situation with, our sewer capacity and all of that. I think would be a nightmare right there, as well as, everybody knows about the electricity. So I think that would be a wonderful idea.
I'm glad you brought it up because this has been on my mind
Yeah.
for some time, and I know there is I believe a workshop or a session that's happening on Sunday, May 31st, that Assemblyman Wilson is hosting. So there are a few towns that are participating, and unfortunately, well, to be there, but I think if anybody could represent Chesterfield there, and they're coming up with a sample ordinance, which we can also.
We have, Dominic has a draft, and I know that there's been a couple other samples floating around. Yeah, a couple other towns have done it. I did see that the Assemblyman's saying, I guess there's a data center being proposed across the river in Pennsylvania, so some of the river towns are meeting to brainstorm their response, yeah.
But I think if you do this proactively, this is a good time to think about it and act on it, so I'm glad you brought it up.
Cool. All right, awesome. So I think that we'll look to introduce that ordinance at our next meeting.
On the
These,
Yes.
Well, hopefully we hear, I don't know, hopefully our plan.
Yes, all right, so Leah.
Subject to
if
her-
Leah gets it back to us
Yeah.
by then, yeah. If not, then the following meeting. But I'm glad that there seems to be a lot of
can we,
support for that. I
can we
think it's
introduce it by
important.
title only?
I'm just worried about like some sort of like substantive like changes this year. I don't know if I'm not anticipating it, but I'm just like worried. Then you have to reintroduce it.
Change
and
the
then-
title?
And Dominic, can we share the draft that we have right now with everybody tomorrow, just so everyone can review
Sure.
and provide feedback as
Yeah,
well?
just again, just with the caveat that it might be changed.
Right.
I don't know if I'm missing something.
I see,
or-
we're still on it.
That's all that I have. Moving on to Township Committee.
George,
Yes.
can you please make sure Troy gets the cricket field cut? They're having a benefit for seawall there this weekend.
We talked about it yesterday morning. He's moving his cuttings to Fridays.
And he's definitely on for tomorrow for the tournament, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I did want to share a concern that some residents have had recently about, they're seeing a lot of snakes in the village but the grass getting too big around the basins, and that's something, I don't know, we have to think about, like mowing the grass. I know EC has, I'm sure, Rebecca, you're aware of it. So I don't know what the committee thinks about that. Is there,
I think we should get some feedback from the BC as to why that's being done.
Defer, it was started,
For us to, why that decision was made or to go to have them in those zones, what benefits, because like, well, I know.
I
my
know it
memory
was
is part of
first
that.
done to deter
the geese. Mhm.
To deter the geese, that's what I was just gonna say, Jeremy. And I've heard some complaints also about the geese, so I think there needs to be some, I think we need some understanding of why, what the situation is. We need educating, and then I think the public also needs educating, so that everybody kind of understands. And that these are retention basins, they have to function as retention basins. Number one, they're not ponds. But number two, what are the benefits of having those no-mow zones that people might not see?
So a couple of updates, because Suruchi, I know what you're referring to, we all have been the same resident. I've spoken to Troy, two separate issues with the basins. I asked him to put together, this was just yesterday and the day before, when we heard some of these complaints. I asked him to put together a couple paragraphs, just on the basins in general, just educating the public on what they actually do, how they're supposed to function, bubblers versus fountains, just, there's a lot of misinformation. I think that people may not fully understand their purpose. So I asked him, like I said, just to put together a couple paragraphs that we can share publicly. In my career, education is the first step on trying to resolve these problems. So I think start there, and then, we can work on specific issues. As far as the no-mow zones, and I know the EC chair sent out an email to the committee that she was putting together a formal.
It's in your email. If you didn't see it, it's from the EC chair. All of us received a separate
A
email.
formal letter as to why they do it. I asked, so we heard from a specific resident that said that the basin and property behind her house has not been mowed, and because of that, she's having an influx of snakes in her yard. That to me seems like a public health, not emergency, but emergent issue. So I did ask Troy to go out there and take care of it. He said that he went out there today and did mow it so that she won't have that issue hopefully anymore. But I do think that as a committee, we do need to have this conversation. There has to be some type of balance between public health and safety and the environmental concerns that are trying to be addressed. So I think that we do need to have some degree of flexibility, understand where the EC is coming from, but also be able to take that recommendation and be realistic about how it's impacting our residents.
Plus also the maintenance of our basins.
Yes.
The no-mow is not a benefit to maintenance of our basins. Because the grasses have now turned into saplings, we have saplings growing there. So trees are going to be growing around the basins now. So
I think that's the whole thing.
So I think no mow is, okay, you don't mow as often, you let the grass get high, but at the end of the year, you mow it in the fall. Just mow it down, because right now we have saplings and trees, which.
It's bad for stormwater too. I mean, we have to be realistic
Yeah,
about
you're
the
gonna have
stormwater
leaves.
expenses that we're gonna have if
Well-
our basins are not managed appropriately.
The trees and everything gonna be, the leaves are gonna be going in our basins and silting the basins up.
The one thing I'm noticing is the amount of debris and garbage.
And
that cannot be
garbage
picked up.
can't be picked up.
But yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because it's important.
Now, I will say this, we looked at bubblers to fountains a long time ago, and the benefit of bubblers were significant, not only in the cost of maintenance, but the aquatic results were better with the bubblers for oxygenation of the water.
Yeah, you only get surface with a fountain, obviously.
So I know,
Or diffuser, you get oxygen from the
That's
bottom
what
to the
we're
top.
putting in more.
but now the issue, the perception is nothing's there, we just need to educate.
Oh, that they don't see.
They're not.
They don't see the pretty fountain.
Because that basin does have 4 diffusers in it. They're seeing us.
But hopefully once, Troy's putting it together, hopefully once we share that, we can alleviate some of these concerns that there is bubblers. We are taking care of the basins the way that they need to be taken care of. And then when there are real issues, when, if something's broken and we don't see it until someone brings it to our attention, we're able to address that as needed.
No, I think that that is important, educating the residents. And I remember having that conversation with the residents about the bubblers, because it was something I also learned when I spoke with Troy. And they were like, it's not, the fountain is not there. Then I had to kind of explain to them why the bubblers are working better than the fountains. So, yeah, things like that, yeah.
Because we're having a huge kill off with the algae, just, sucking oxygen out of the water with the fountains, and the algae blooms were significant.
They were. Yeah.
Yo, 100%. We still use black,
They
Black
were
Lagoon.
bought out by somebody,
Right.
but that same company
they,
has
they've done a pretty good job over the years, at least I thought.
Argus
I
or
think
something
they
like
do.
that.
Yeah, I think it is.
Although I don't know that there's a lot of competition from like these old.
No, they're nationwide. With all of them.
Other township committee?
Yes, so this Saturday morning at 10 a.m. the Green Team is hosting the backyard composting workshop. It's a free workshop for residents to attend. It's going to be at the community garden. So, please spread the word, and we would love for residents to join us there. The Burlington County Master Gardeners are hosting it for us. So I know I have a lot to learn when it comes to backyard composting, and I think it's a great way to reduce waste and reduce greenhouse gases.
And being great.
Yeah.
Great dirt.
Yes, that's right.
Hey, searching. Anything else? All right, so tonight,
I just have about 15 things.
So allow 2 hours.
I just want to let you know, this has been going on for several months. The Difference Card, our health insurance program, kicks off on Monday, June 1st. We have 7 employees enrolled, so fingers crossed. I think it's going to be a real success. I've talked to other employees that are doing a wait and see, so I think we'll have more participation.
7 out of how many people?
15.
So can they sign up at any time or?
No, they have to wait, now they'll have to wait until open enrollment, but that's October.
Oh,
My sense was some of our employees were going to wait and see since we had some going in. We've got a 6-month period before they have to sign up for continuation. So the folks that are signed up now are the guinea pigs. But I will tell you, the savings will be significant for our employees. We will have a savings. It's not as good as if everyone signed up, but I think the numbers will increase.
And they're the guinea pigs in Chesterfield, but it's a well-known program that other towns have seen a lot of savings and the
Yes.
employees have seen a lot of savings. So.
So we got money in the fund and we're good to go for Monday. Today, Committeeman Pintilli, I established contact with someone from PSE&G about the Main Street, Church Street repair issues. And I've been wanting to get a contact. I always had one with JCP&L, never
I
got
have to-
contacted.
Yeah, I was looking too. I thought I had it in my master file at
Yeah.
work and I didn't have, I had the JCP&L contact.
Yes.
I think it's Frank Luna, but
Well, Frank's replacement is Bobby Bryce.
Gotcha.
He used to be the chief of law.
Yep.
And he's got our little section here that's JCP&L. So I spoke to Karen Fryer, the chief has had dealings with her, I believe, as well. I sent her some photos of the intersection and she was very encouraging that we'll get something done out there. And it needs it to.
it's been based since,
Yeah.
I mean, it was in the middle of winter that gas line broke. you know.
There's 3 huge pieces that they took out of it. Buttonwood Speed Hump, the letters are going out tomorrow to the residents of Buttonwood between Front Street and Ward. So we'll get the feedback from them and I'll share that with all of you so you can make your final determination. I did write to the county engineer looking for an update on the end date for the repairs on Old York Road. I will tell you that, like 2 other emails that I recently sent to the engineer's office, I get no reply at all. I don't know what's going on, but it's tough to make contact with the county engineer.
Can we escalate that somehow? I'd really like to get an answer.
I know somebody.
It's been difficult.
I will make some call.
I know somebody get them.
And-
We just
and
want
also-
to know if they're on track, if they're on
Result.
schedule with the repairs, so.
I had a resident who called in and he said, could you give me some information about it? Because I don't know what you're talking about.
They got Joe directly.
Yes. Somebody who knows Joe. And that's what he said. And I was just like.
I wrote to Joe about this one and some other issues as well. I didn't get a response. He might be on a long vacation, I don't know. But I also wrote to Will
I
Schaefer.
think he's out on sick leave.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
It
Uh,
was
Will
initially supposed to be
Schaefer.
12 weeks that the road was closed, and it is, I mean, we've heard
Didn't get any
complaints from
response.
residents, who folks are now speeding through, you know, the residential area of Old York Village, I mean, it is a big concern, so it would be nice to at least be able to confirm that they're on track for the 12 weeks, or to know if it's gonna be over that, what that's looking like, just to be able to give people an answer.
One last item is, if you recall at our last meeting, I mentioned that I was contacted by Netflix about using our lot. They still haven't made a decision on that, but in conjunction with it, they will be filming in Hanover Township, North Hanover, on June 12th. They gave us a traffic plan. All of their filming will be on Paulson, but they're going to be shutting down Harrison between 528 and Chesterfield, Arlington, and they will be putting trailers on Harrison. It will affect us just at the west end of Harrison, that they're having their plan for a police officer with a car to block off for local traffic only, Harrison and 528. I talked to the chief about coordinating with the chief from North Hanover for our portion of it, whether or not we would do the block if he's got the staff available or not.
Not to be difficult, but shouldn't we have had a say in it since it's a.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to be doing Well, that's why I'm bringing it to you as well. They're going to be doing all of the activity on their end. The only thing that they're looking for from us is that basically, screening local traffic only.
Would they be
Going
compensating us for that, or we would just have to have an officer?
They would have to
on
pay,
site?
they would have to pay for the police,
Okay.
but it doesn't really fall under our film ordinance because they're not filming in our town.
I'm just more perturbed that you had to get contacted by North Hanover.
Well, I didn't. It was someone from that.
Okay.
He reached out to me.
To advise you, he was shutting your road down.
Well, they've got the plan. It's for our review as
I
well.
get it.
I sent it to the chief last night.
Sit on it for a
Yeah,
week.
and that plan was already approved by the county.
They've already gone through the county for it? Okay.
That's my understanding.
How long is this road?
It's going to be Thursday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's June 11th. Friday the 12th from 7 a.m. to 7 a.m. on the 13th. So they're gonna have a 24-hour shutdown. And then on Saturday, it'll be 7 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Can we make sure that's posted on our social media?
Yeah, well, once we have it solid, yes.
I have a conversation scheduled with the North Anna chief tomorrow morning. We're gonna go over, the finer details, but this is Harrison Road. There's very few residences on that road. The impact should be minimal. The main thing for us is the detour itself.
Right.
But even that, it's, Arlington and Jacobstown roads.
The detour will be in our portion, and actually, our portion of the actual piece of the pie there is not that small. Everything's on their side.
This ain't Ocean Puerto Rican town. I don't need Netflix.
What's that? I'm
This
sorry.
ain't Ocean Puerto Rican town. I don't need Netflix. And I ain't gonna have them come into town and just tell us what they're going to do.
No.
They go film in North Hanover all over that. They ain't putting us in our credits, film the Chesterfield. If you'd like me to call them, I'll be glad to, because I deal with Netflix all the time. Say, it's not gonna fly in Chesterfield. You're not gonna tell us what roads you're shutting down. You're gonna ask us if it's possible, and we'll let you know.
Great.
Sorry, I have problems with territory.
Is that everything?
Well, I don't mean to mischaracterize it. It wasn't hey, we're coming in, this is what we're doing. Here's what we've got in place so far, and they're looking for our feedback as well. I don't want to throw them under the bus here if they were being vicious with this thing. And that is all I have.
Thank you. Moving into public comment part 2, same rules as part 1, 3 minutes, and start with your name and address, please. Can I get a motion
I
in a
just
second?
wanted to say one real quick thing. I just wanted to say to the chief, because I heard that, talking about the closure of Old York, that you guys put up the speed thing and we're stopping people. So there was appreciation for your efforts to keep the speeding down on Cantor, which is the main unofficial.
Right, well, thank you. No, it was communicated to us by 2 residents of their concern, so we've been,
No, I just wanted to publicly thank people, everyone that, because,
Appreciate it.
it was a lot of people that were appreciative. I'm sorry, that
No,
had.
that's fine. Thanks, Chief. Motion in a second to open public comment.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Susan Mayo, 16 Chesterfield Township, Road, just a couple of items. I'd like to clarify that I stated in the previous meeting. Caroline Cannon said that the house had been already sold. House had been put in 50% were double hung and the other 50% was 606. We come on and decided to place it at double hung. So it wasn't all looking historical before they made those. Just sit down. As far as the historic preservation, I want to historic inventory. Historic inventory, the master plan is approximately 100 residents. If you look at the account of the historic district parcels that's listed on the township website, there's there's 230 homes. So you have less than 50% represented in the current historic inventory. Discrepancy. Also in that historic list of parcels, I mentioned this before, 53 Chesterfield Prospect Road is listed as part of a historic district parcel. It is not in the historic map. So again, you have another discrepancy. have to be reviewed. And lastly, I just want to mention, we were notified that the road will be closed for the parade on Saturday, June 6th. But I don't see anything in the banner on the township website saying that the routes will be closed or posted other routes. And also typically, like Hamilton, when they have their go-go parade, they post on telephone poles for people that pass by that says this road will be closed from this time to this time on this date. And I was wondering if Chesterfield was planning on doing that because, as you know, Main Street and Chesterfield Crossroads Road are heavily traveled. And I just was asking if that was part of the plan. Making sure that, the residents, non-residents know that that road is going to be closed because it's a major road.
Thanks, Susie. Steve, is that something we've done in the past with posting the signs like that?
Not on poles, but I do have a request with the county for PMS boards, the large electronic display boards. So, I got word back just this afternoon that they'll be putting 2 out next week, I believe on Thursday. So we'll have one, coming, if you're coming from Hamilton, going south into Crosswicks, there should be one in that area. And then there'll be one on Chesterfield Crosswicks. If you're coming from here, going towards Crosswicks, there should be one there. So we'll have those 2 boards up next week. And it is our intent to put it on social media as well, and we'll get that on the.
We're gonna have to detour here because of Old York Road being closed.
The notices will start here, correct?
Because that should be where our detour starts that day here. If not, people will have to go down
That's
Margin.
correct. That's not necessarily where the board's going to be,
Okay.
but yes, that is where the detour starts.
Thanks, Chief. I should have known you were on top of it. Anybody else? Anybody online?
Nope.
All right, seeing none, can I get a motion and a second to close public comment?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
There is no executive session tonight. Can I get a motion and a second to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.